Sometimes guppies pass too soon. The very first batch of guppies I've kept passed all within a week, but I made each one of these mistakes I'm going to mention today in today's video. These 3 mistakes are common amongst aquarium keepers, but they just don't tend to find out very soon, costing them lots and lots of dollars per fish lost in a transaction that you wish you could have back. My name is Oliver, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to keep your guppies extra happy and keep them safe and sound, and making sure they don't die of these 3 common issues. Starting off with the first issue is buying fish from an unreputable seller. If you buy guppies from a seller that has sickly, nasty, dead bodies, or anything of those matters inside the tanks with your guppies, it's a recipe for disaster. The guppies may also look a little skinny or unhealthy, along with other fish in the entire store. Then it's a bad sign that that reputable seller is not so reputable. So we want to make sure that the tanks look nice and clean, well kept. The fish look like they have a little bit of meat on their bones. They're not just skin and bones. There's no obvious signs of diseases like ick or fin rot. And we want to make sure that there's no contamination of diseases. So if you do see a tank that's sick and maybe quarantined, we want to make sure that we don't see the tanks going back and forth, maybe even that they don't even use the same fish net, because we just don't want to buy our new fish, get them covered in a sickness just to have them die. And a little bonus thing that goes into this as well is to have a quarantine tank for if you purchase the fish before adding it to your main tank, adding it to a quarantine tank to check it out for a week or 2 just before you add it to your main tank can save a lot of stress and can potentially save any kind of bad disaster from happening. One of the hard ways I learned this was I had a 9 tank system, and one caught a bad case of fin rot, and little did I know that using the same net would cause an entire outbreak of fin rot to all 9 of my aquariums. It was an expensive week, and I took a break from the hobby right after shortly because it killed almost all of my livestock. Moving on to number 2, we're going to talk about the cycling and the chemical treatment of our water inside of our aquarium. So when we first purchase our fish, now from a reputable seller, we're gonna wanna take them and add them to our tank. And so we're gonna wanna do an acclimation system. This is where you add the bag of water inside the tank to make sure the temperatures balance out over a period of time. If you don't know anything about acclimation, go check out my acclimation video and I will see you over there. But if we're sticking around for the rest of sticking around for the rest of step 2 is the issue of getting your water parameters right as well. You may want to check with your local fish store to see if the water parameters of their tanks are similar to yours. If they're your local fish stores, pretty much they are. So once the water parameters are checked and the temperatures are nice, you want to make sure your water is dechlorinated with dechlorinator, and that will solve issue number 2. And the third and final issue that I have found that has been really bad with guppies is bad tank mates. If you've got tank mates that are constantly nipping at tails or nipping at the guppies themselves, it can be a recipe for disaster. So if you have a lot of tail biters like tiger barbs, or maybe even some smaller cichlids, some just aggressive ones, some pufferfish, just things that would rip at their beautiful tails, it's gonna cause a lot of stress on them, which is in prone gonna be able to have them be less immune to diseases, and then these diseases are gonna spread, and they're eventually gonna kill the fish and kill the tank. So we wanna make sure we have a nice, stressless tank on your fish. And these for guppies as well. All fish and guppies kind of go into this category when it comes to tank mates, because we just don't want aggressive tank mates to come in, wreck up our stress levels for our fish, which in return will make sickness worse for them. So keep a nice stress-free tank, get rid of the fin nippers, add some more plants for division and hiding spots for them if needed. Sometimes guppies will attack each other, especially the males and females, so be sure to add a lot of cover for them and have cover for the babies, because once you hit these 3 problems, breeding is inevitable, especially with guppies. Oh, you thought I was done at 3 tips? No, I've got a bonus tip for you since you watched to the end. The 4th tip is very simple, and that is to add live plants. Live plants will take away a lot of the nasty chemicals and just nastiness of the water, of ammonias and It'll also add a nice layer of protection, hiding from vid nipping, and overall, it brings a lot of health into your aquariums. So I recommend picking up some plants, and if you want to purchase a plant pack dedicated specifically to guppies, go over and check out my website at oliversaquatics.com. I can put together a guppy pack just for you. If you found this video helpful, check out the other videos I have mentioned at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Be sure to check out my website to get some cool plants, and I will see you over there.